Yeah,
He's very, very, very talented.
we interviewed him here at the Russell Holiday Cottage a couple years ago, which was a treat. It was actually a tough interview. I tried to keep up with him, knowing where he was going next. But he's an amazing guy.
He really is.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, and then Vocal Edition, they've been with us for several years, and their talent level just speaks for itself. Their music's wonderful. Voices are fabulous.
If folks can't get out this weekend or tonight or tomorrow, they've got 2 other weekends to shoot for. What's even tomorrow night? You've got some special things. Saturday, December 1.
We do. We have some different groups this year. We always try and change up a little bit. We have the High Tide Brass Quintet coming.
Right.
We'll have the Polly's Island Presbyterian Church Handbell.
Oh wow!
Coming.
Yeah.
So they're fabulous. They were here last year. Our own Ron Days. Ron is our Vice President of Creative Education.
And Ron.
Ron is a performer. He's an artist in his own right. He and his wife did Gullah Gullah Island several years ago on Nickelodeon. And Ron is extremely talented and does interpretations of Gullah Christmas carols.
Right.
And Christmas stories.
Gullah Christmas carols and Christmas stories.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very moving.
Has he done that before?
He has.
And you say it's moving.
Yes, it is. It really, he's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's great.
So,
folks can come down just to see Ron Days perform if they're not down to see. Now, of course, Rocky, Bill Oberst, and Vocal Edition are all 7 nights.
That's correct.
Okay, all 7 nights.
That's correct. And the best thing to do is check the website or call 235-6000
Very easy.
just to confirm, what's playing that particular evening as we go forward. So.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, and of course, there's so many other great nights and great events. But if simply it is this weekend, next weekend, and the following. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
The last weekend, really, we've added Thursday night. So it's the 13th, 14th, and 15th of December.
Okay.
So that's the additional night that we've added. Right.
So two tonight, tomorrow night, next Friday,
next
Saturday,
Friday, Saturday, and then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's
correct.
tremendous. Yeah. So rain or shine, it's not going to be raining all
Let's
7
hope not.
days. Yeah, that's right. That would be a terrible hoax right now.
Yeah.
We're knocking on some good wood here.
Yeah. I would encourage people to come early. It's very weather dependent, the attendance on a particular night. And if we start off, it's going to be wonderful this evening, but if we start off and it's a little cold or windy or there's some impediments that keep people from coming, it seems the bubble seems to get larger and larger the last weekend.
Right.
So that's why we added the extra night the last weekend.
I'm going to hold up a couple of shots here, Bob. Maybe you can just talk about them a little bit. So viewers are trying, they're hearing you say NOTC.
Right.
And simply you're talking about Nights of 1,000 Candles. And is this a good retrospective? We've got one more there, but
it is.
For viewers who don't know what we're talking about, there's candles really involved.
Right. We'll have between 4,000 and 5,000 luminaries throughout the garden. And for the audience that's been to our garden, they know how impactful that can be. We've also upgraded our lighting that's in the trees. About 10 years ago, there was a very sophisticated lighting system installed in Brookgreen. Unfortunately, it wasn't maintained. We started to maintain it this year. It's quite expensive, but it adds another dimension of ambiance to the presentation, and I think people will really enjoy it. What you were holding up there is the Brown Sculpture Court.
Oh, yeah.
That's another great spot, terrific backlighting, wonderful pieces of sculpture. And then we'll have luminaries in the water areas also.
For folks, and the other thrill is for folks who've never been to Brookgreen Gardens before, which I hate to think, Bob, there are somebody, but for viewers in the PD or southeastern North Carolina who may not have made a day trip, this is a time when they need to make a night trip because they will experience, thanks to the candles here, they will experience, of course, that's inside, but this is a great shot of the... and that's kind of a central location.
It is, yes. As you come down, the main walkway, this is what you will see. You'll see Diana the Chase, and you'll see luminaries in the pond. You'll see the backlighting in the trees. You will be impressed.
You
really will.
No doubt about it.
I'm pretty confident that people will like it if they come.
Absolutely.
And you do get chills. You do. And you never quite know. We'll do runs through the garden at night, but the adrenaline flow is not there because the guests aren't coming. But that first night when you walk out to the garden, it's wow. It is the wow factor.
Yeah,
you know, my background was retailing.
Right.
You always, from a presentation standard, look for the wow factor.
Yeah.
We have it.
You have found it here. That's right.
Yeah. If this doesn't get you excited,
Go
I don't know what advice to give you.
That's right.
I really don't. So.
Wow, that is exciting, and I love that word wow, and this is an amazing example. And of course, for folks who just aren't going to be in town the next few weeks, obviously there's reasons to come to Brookgreen Gardens year-round. We got about 5 minutes, Bob.
Okay.
What are some of the other great things year-round? Of course, you've got an amazing... Go ahead.
Well, and just one thing I want to add about
please.
Nights of a Thousand Candles is we have expanded the areas in the garden where people can walk.
Okay.
And we did that for a couple of reasons. One was just we wanted to spread the crowd out. But two, until last year, we really didn't have lights in the back of the garden. And we had some lighting back there last year, and it was fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
So we all went back and said, okay, we need to expand this because it looks out over an old rice field, and you get shadows from the lights, and it's breathtaking. It really is.
Yeah.
So, you know, if people are really concerned about the crowds, I think it should be much better this year. One of our objectives is to be sure that you have a good time, that the wow factor does hit you, and you see the most spectacular Nights of a Thousand Candles you will see anywhere in the country, not just in the Southeast.
Absolutely.
So we encourage you to come out.
Well, I hate to say it, yesterday's interview with Holly McMillan, who was here promoting Christmastown next Thursday at the convention center, I highlighted to her, and she was thankful, but highlighted to her that last year I was coming and had to turn around. The traffic was so bad. There were so many people. Hey, it's a great testament to Nights of a Thousand Candles that everyone wanted to be here, but we went out and turned around and headed out for sushi. It was just such a... which
I
ended
can
up
understand
turning out
that.
well, but the traffic was backed up well into Merle's Inlet. And so
that was the last weekend.
It was, right.
And what happened the first two Friday nights, we had good attendance, but it was kept down somewhat because of the weather.
Oh, yeah.
And so everyone who didn't come those first two weekends came the last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And the last Saturday night, that's the night you had to be here. It was really, really backed up.
Right.
But we think we've made some logistical changes, operational changes that will help that. Now, if we have 4,500 people here, there will be a wait. And, and the perspective I will give people is if you go to a University of South Carolina game, you wait.
Right.
If you go to a Clemson game, you wait.
There is traffic,
and believe me, this is every bit as special as those two events.
Yeah, or if you're coming into Myrtle Beach in the summertime.
Yeah, exactly.
Saturday,
501.
That's exactly right. So, 501, you're going to be waiting. Yeah.
But you'd ask about other things that we're doing, and I can talk about Brookgreen forever. I get so excited about it.
Yes, and real quick, you've been at Brookgreen how long now, Bob, as the president?
Well, I've been the president 3.5 years. I've actually been here 4 years.
Okay, great.
And it's just been a wonderful experience. And our marketing tag is ever changing, simply amazing. Ooh, yeah. And we try and change Brookgreen to a degree as long as it supports the mission. And in this last year, we opened the Offner Center, a research sculpture center that has allowed us to display hundreds of pieces of sculpture that were in storage. So sculpture that people had not seen before.
Wow.
So that opened just in the last 2 months. We are going to open a new otter exhibit in April of 2008.
A new otter exhibit.
Otter exhibit,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
So that is our first effort to start expanding and upgrading the wildlife area. And we have a master plan that will hopefully unfold over the next 5 years. But this will be the beginning of that. In March, we'll have a daffodil corridor that continues to just have brilliant displays of daffodils. We'll have about 200,000 daffodils in the ground now.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and with the staff and volunteers did that.
Yeah.
And the objective was to provide that as just a wonderful, wonderful experience for people. But also, the daffodils will bloom in late February and March, and it gives people yet another reason to come in what typically were slower months. And then our historical programs that we started a few years ago, Silent Cities, which the trekker takes you out into the old plantations, the old cemeteries, and we really study the burial customs of the slaves and plantation owners, which sounds a little morbid, but it's very, very interesting, and people love it. Ron Days will be presenting gala programs in January, February, and early March. That reinforces the interpretation we have on our Low Country Trail.
Right.
And just last week, we opened the Oaks Trail Plantation Tour. And that allows you, we have a new bus, takes you out to the Oaks Plantation where the Alstons and Burrs have a cemetery.
Right.
We'll let you walk on your own through a trail that's defined for about a half a mile with historical interpretation of what happened there 200 years ago. We'll be expanding that by another mile, and it will be open by the fall of 2008. So you'll be able to actually walk for about a mile and a half out in the Oaks Plantation.
That's tremendous,
which
Bob.
is a great experience.
As you said, you could talk on and on. We're going to have to get you back. I was thrilled on the front page of the website on the Welcome to Brookgreen Gardens reading about it being the only zoo accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums on the coast of the Carolinas.
That's correct.
Which is a tremendous, I had no idea that the zoo here had that kind of a recognition up and down the Carolinas coastlines, North and South Carolina.
And it's a very requiring accreditation.
I bet it is.
It really
yeah.
is. I mean, we have the same accreditation Riverbank Zoo has, San Diego Zoo has, major zoos. So we should all be proud of that.
A lot going on, folks. Really need to come visit the website, see sculpture, horticulture, obviously the zoo and education, and then planning your visit. If they can't be here one of the next 3 weekends, either tonight or any of the next weekends, they really need to get down here.
They do. They really do. We were named one of the 7 wonders of the Carolinas by the Charlotte Observer about a year ago. We were recognized by Congress for our 75th anniversary. They passed a resolution recognizing Brookgreen Gardens. So we have a treasure in this area that many people recognize, but many people have not yet recognized, and we need to help them do that.
Absolutely.
And you have helped us tremendously. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate that, and thanks for opening up your garden, you and everyone's gardens, to the rest of the world to be here this weekend, next week, and the following.
Great. Well, we're glad you're here.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Stay tuned to more Carolina Pete with Bob Jewell, the president and CEO of Brookgreen Gardens, coming up next. You heard Bob say it, when the sun starts to fade, thousands of candles and holiday lights begin to glow as Brookgreen becomes even more beautiful during nights of 1,000 candles. Get out here today. It kicks off at 3. They're open even later. You heard him say till 10 o'clock. And they're also offering an early bird dinner special from 3:30 to 5. Tremendous catering. The full dinner menu will be served from 5 to 9 p.m. So come early for dinner. Stay to see the magic as the gardens glow by candlelight. Real simple, 235-6000, 235-6000, or go online to brookgreen.org to see those tremendous dinner special menus. Go online, enjoy tonight, and all 7 days.